be very, very sensitive to someone touching them. All right.
Or, that's funny. I actually prayed for someone this afternoon. I went over to a coworker's house, and he had been in a very severe car accident. And I'm glad I followed that, and I asked him, "Do you mind if I pray for you? And do you mind if I touch your knees?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he kind of jumped back as I started towards him, and I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to like clamp down on your knees. I'm going to just kind of lay my hand on it." He
Very
said,
gentle.
"Fine."
Yeah.
And so
That's good.
It's very important.
Good example.
To remember that in this case, he may not want you to do that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good example. And then Jack brought up earlier, keeping your eyes open. That's a little different. I haven't been to a lot of places where they actually encourage this, but we do, because just of what Jack shared earlier, you actually can physically see sometimes things that are happening in their life. First of all, are they receiving the prayer? Because I've prayed for people before where when I looked at them, I was like, man, they are not receiving this at all. And in fact, there have been a couple people where they've come for prayer, but I felt the Lord very directly tell me, don't pray for that person because they're not going to receive it. It hasn't happened in a while, actually, but it used to happen more often.
What do you tell them?
Well, if they come forward for prayer, I don't pray over them. Like I will go find somebody else to pray for. You know, what's that? That's.
There's a situation where
I would say just do a general.
Yeah. Well, then I probably would. I'd probably do, blessing or whatever. Or I would pray for a receptive heart for what the Lord has for them in their life. You know, that's probably what I would pray.
Well, Paul the Apostle tells Timothy, I think it's Timothy, lay hands suddenly on no one. And, is that for ordination or is it for prayer? We're not told, but I'm assuming you can, I think it just means be receptive to the Spirit.
Yeah.
Don't make a rash action here.
Yeah.
Wait for God's timing and His way and His method. And I can be sensitive. If you feel this is an appropriate time to pray, you can find a way around it. Get into a brief conversation, like you say. Well, let's ask God for discernment or perception of where to go from here. But I mean,
right.
I think if we're in the praying mode, we tend to be in the waiting on the Holy Spirit mode as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just something we pick up as we go along. This idea of I just don't sense the Holy Spirit going in this direction.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Kurt?
I had a situation like that too. A gentleman in the prayer line, and I'm fairly new to the prayer model. The guy comes up and says, everybody else is being slain in the Spirit and falling about. And he comes up and he gets in my face. I don't care what you say, what you pray for. I'm not going to fall down. I'm not going to receive anything. I says, well, then right away, I says, well, then, okay, I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you come forward then? I said to myself, my spirit, I didn't ask him, so I just kind of threw one of those generic prayers at him. And I watched God just like a melted candle.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
That's when you pray, get him, Lord, get him.
Yes.
He was just there, and he was there. He about 10 minutes later, he says, okay.
That is cool.
So it's not so much, but it's God wants you to be receptive to the fact that, you may not understand why he came forward, because it was actually told me he doesn't know why he was there. But then it was just like the Lord just poured that hot oil over him, and it was just like he was there.
That's cool.
He was a captive audience.
Right.
This isn't about us.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
Yeah. I hope I didn't give the wrong impression by saying there's people I haven't prayed for. That rarely happens. And I just want to clarify, it happened when somebody kept asking the same prayer, and I knew they weren't receiving it. And so they kept coming forward. So,
As a leper, do you want to be well?
Yeah.
I mean, you did.
Right.
You want to be well.
Right.
But this, coming back to this part too, when we're talking about intercession, you know, a mother who comes for a child or something like that, it's this intercession thing. I always felt uncomfortable with interceding in that point because you really actually don't, you know, I'd rather have the child come so that you can kind of let that come to one-on-one instead of, because you get more direct prayer.
Through someone else. Yeah.
You know, because you don't know, you know, the mother might have a specific want or desire for their child that they're not following in that footsteps, or they're trying to push them into ministry, and you want you to pray them in agreement with them to get them into ministry. May not be what God wants them to be doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that you know, intercession is a powerful tool. I enjoy intercession, but when you know you meet one person comes up, I want you to pray for my child, and well, you know, you end up praying what they want for their child, and you know the Holy Spirit may have, you know, privy you to something completely totally different from that situation. Well, now who do you disappoint? You know?
Yeah, right.
Because that, you know, if you pray what they want, you're not going to be effectual, because that's totally against what the Lord has in store for that
You
child.
can pray for them to have more insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I would probably go that route. Pray for the mom. You know, Lord, just, you know, that she has your insight, Lord, as to what this child needs to be, or, you know, who this child is. So that mom gets connected with Lord to her child.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of her idea.
It is amazing sometimes the things that people ask for prayer for.
Please pray for my husband. You know.
Yeah. Lana, you're always asking.
Job.
It's funny.
It's true.
So where were we? Okay, keeping your eyes open. So we keep our eyes open because a lot of times we can see whether they're just practically being receptive or not to the prayer. Another thing is, we've all probably prayed something that was a little bit off. I've had some things before. I was like, I kind of feel like the Lord is telling me this. And if you see somebody scrunch their face, it's probably not connecting with them. You know what I mean? So
I have been prayed for things, or like prophesied over for things that I, at the time, was like, ew, gross, I'm never doing that. And then like, eventually, like...
They came to pass? All right. So sometimes we are speaking that truth, even if the person doesn't want to receive that at the time, right?
I've done that too. Yeah, I've had that happen too.
It is
like, I don't think so.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, right. I've prayed plenty of prayers where I was like, Lord, that's weird. Like, I don't want to say that to the person. I get those all the time. And then sometimes the person that has scrunched up their face or whatever, like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then later they came back and were like, yeah. I was like, oh, phew, you know. It was interesting. It does. I know I get weird things. One example, it was during the Healing on the Streets time. And the Lord told me something about dry ice.
That's a good one. That's a new one.
And I was like, hey, so I feel like somebody, I don't remember, needs healing or something, and you've been using dry ice. And nobody responded. And I was like, oh, why did I say that out loud? You know? And sure enough, somebody later came up to me, was like, Kevin, I have had warts. And I have been trying to get rid of them for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
I've tried dry ice. I've tried everything on them, not get rid of them. We prayed about it. Gone. So, in fact, he was at church today.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When that happens, you get strengthened in your trust.
Yeah.
And the impressions that come your way.
Right.
Because when you're bold enough or trusting enough to give voice to something that seems outrageous, and then you find out it was ordered of the Lord,
Yeah.
you're a little bit more confident next time to say something that's outrageous, even if it embarrasses you, because you know
Right.
that it worked last time. This could be a prompting of the Lord this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a situation, Ray and I, several years ago, she and I told me to share.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a prophecy conference, and I figured the lady, she said something she really went way out there.
Yeah.
She was waiting for somebody to answer the prompt. And
Yeah.
everybody, the whole conference was scratching their head. And finally, at the end, when she finally gave up and said, we have to move on, I was sneaking outside the box and realized, she says, well, I see a 1975 penny.
Uh-huh.
And it's for somebody here. And I said, well, too late, because they had moved on. I said, well, we lived in Lincoln in 1975.
Oh my gosh.
And if you look at a penny in
Lincoln.
Greek,
Yeah.
P is a roll.
Yeah.
And if you pronounce it in Latin with the roll, it's Renee. And we
Who
missed
else would know that?
Oh my gosh. That is so
we
wild.
missed it. We missed it.
Oh
But, I mean,
man.
if I didn't trust my analytical powers,
Yeah.
because I'm not, a super sensitive spiritual guy.
Yeah.
But she went to high school in Lincoln, Lincoln, California, and we were married in Lincoln, Nebraska. You have East and West, Greek and Latin.
Wow.
I just,
Oh my
I
gosh.
figured the more and more I thought about it, the more I realized
That was us.
Renee.
Oh
She didn't
man.
miss it. That is, the lady didn't miss it.
Yeah.
But she had to have a follow-up response before she got any more.
Yeah.
And she didn't get the follow-up response, so she sort of stood there with egg in her face, in this
Yeah.
conference, and then she had to move on.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Do you think we don't see a lot of healing nowadays because we don't take the chance to proclaim it?
Yes.
I do too.
In fact, John Wimber said that he would go to conferences, he would teach this, and then he would get notes from people saying, I tried it and it didn't work.
Right.
And he said his response in general was,
Try
we'll
it.
go try it 1,000 times
Yeah.
and then let me know.
But I have a problem doing it. It's a big risk.
It
You
is.
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I can pray for healing
Mhm.
in a general sense, but to say be healed in the name of Jesus
Yeah.
to me that's a proclamation. It's more
Yeah.
of a proclamation, and I have issues doing that even
Uh-huh.
because then if it doesn't happen, what is that doing to the person's faith?
Right.
It's not going to bother mine
Mhm.
because I've been around a while. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
if that person doesn't have a firm foundation
Mhm.
and they don't get healed,
Yeah.
I worry about what will happen,
Yeah.
which probably is none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I ask the Lord, He'd probably say, well, that shouldn't be your concern as much
Mhm.
as doing what I tell you to do.
I've prayed plenty of prayers that didn't
Yeah.
happen, right away. And maybe I'm just ignorant, but I feel like most of the time now, if you present yourself in a loving way and an encouraging way, that most of the time people don't walk away completely
Okay.
devastated. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I didn't
I don't,
think of that.
I've never felt like somebody's faith was shattered, and maybe I just didn't know that it. I
Right.
hope not. Lord forbid that would happen. But it goes back to what Jack said and what we said is kind of the priority of the prayer, and that's showing them the love of God, that God cares for them, that we care for them, and that
Are you
we're
ready for
expressing His love.
dangerous
So,
thought?
I think so.
You think? Well,
Yeah.
I think a lot, when it comes to healing, a lot of people try to make a dogma out of it. And it's not a dogma, it's the healing virtue of Christ.
Yeah.
And it's only Christ who heals. It's not
Yep.
my word
Right.
that heals. It's not my dogma that heals.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not a doctrine. And, you know, people have this concept, well, he always